إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Okay, we are on what number lesson? Hakim. Hakimun Makin. We're number 5. Jazakallah khair, barakallah fikum. Okay, now, in number 5, we're doing Ajrumiyah. And in Ajrumiyah today, we are here. What's the line? We said, let's do the whole thing. Just to start again. Somebody asked on the internet, they said, we see that you did some of the Ajrumiyah in some of the beginning lessons and you're doing it over again. What are you doing different? We're going into greater detail. Those other lessons, when we did Ajrumiyah, we did it mixed with other lessons to give people some, encouragement to come. Now we're doing an Ajrumiyah, the work and the meat and potatoes of it. Okay? So, it may go a little slower, but it'll be a lot more complete. It goes again. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And we continue to do it over and over. My microbiology teacher, Dr. Alim, he used to do the same lesson every day, over and over again, to get you to memorize it. So when you take the quiz, you got really, really strong, because he kept on saying every day and just adding a little bit more to it, adding a little bit more to it, adding a little bit more to it. So when you got to the midterms, you had to think. So that's what our whole type of theory is. And it's not no joke that he's from Egypt. So he had that mentality as opposed to Western mentality to give you the cheat sheet right before the test. So we start off with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. إن الكلام عندنا we start at the beginning. قال ابن أب واسمه محمد الله في كل الأمور أحمد مصليا على الرسول المنتقى وآله وصحبه ذوي التقى وبعد هذا النظم فالقصد بذا المنظوم تسهيل منثور بن أجرومي لمن أراد حفظه وحصر عليه أن يحفظ ما قد نثر الله استعين في كل عمل إليه قصدي وعليه متكل. Now the second chapter is Babul Kalam وما يتألف منه, meaning the bab dealing with speech and what speech is built upon. Okay? إن الكلام عندنا فلتستمع لفظ مركب مفيد قد أقسامه التي عليها يبنى اسم وفعل ثم حرف معنى فالاسم بالخفض وبالتنوين أو دخول ال يعرف فقف ما قفا وبحروف الخفض وهي من إلى وعن وفي وربا والبا وعلى والكاف واللام واو وتا ومذ ومنذ ولعل حتى. Now that's where we're at. That's what we studied thus far. And you should be able to do it. And, a lot of people don't want to commit. Because if you commit, that means you have to learn it. You have to actually learn it. And that means you have to actually study it. Okay? That means you have to actually memorize it. That means you have to sit down 10 minutes a day and go over it. Or in your car, or get the audio. And so we want you to know, study. It's not that hard. Now, we're at al-ismu. Wal-ismu bil-khafdi wa bit. No. No, we said what? Wa-fi'lu. Wa-fi'lu bis-sini. Come on, help me out. Wal-fi'lu. Wal-fi'lu bis-sini, right? بالسين سوف وبقد وبقد. What's the next line? فعلم فعلم وتاء عفوا وتاء التأنيث ميزه ورد. Okay, this is one line we're going to do here. It has to be like a nose. Wal fi'lu. Say wal فعل بالسين سوف وبقد فاعلم فاعلم وتاء تأنيث ميزه ورد. Let's break it down. أعطي هذا. والفعل. What is a فعل? Action word. Right? An action word. And a فعل, there are three types of فعل. We could say that. Okay? And there's a فعل, that's فعل الماضي. Say ماضي. Okay? ماضٍ or ماضي. And then we have another one. Which is the other one? مضارع. مضارع. And what's another one? أمر. Okay? أمر مضارع ماضي. Okay? These are the three types of فعل. This is the only one that deals with time. We said what was a فعل? فعل is a كلمة دلت على معنى في نفسها وقد اقترنت بإحدى ثلاثة أزمنة. What does all that mean? It means it is a word. A فعل is a word that has a meaning. It has a word that has a meaning in and of its own self. Meaning when you say the meaning of that word has a meaning that is independent. It doesn't need another word for you to understand what that word means. But that word is tied to one of three time frames. Okay? And don't be calling out in my class, little girl. You know, either it's tied to the time frame in the past, or it's tied to wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah, or it's tied to a time frame in the future, or it's tied to a time frame in the immediate. Okay? Now, we call that madi. Madi literally means past. Right here, past. Okay? Ma qad mada, what happened before. Mudari. Mudari doesn't mean present future tense. What does mudari mean? Mudari means similar to, right? Similar to. And then right under similar to, right, as a terminology, it means present going into the future. Okay? Because we know as we do it now, what's happened? We're going into the future. The next one is amr. What is an amr? An order. But right next to it, write immediate. Say an order denotes immediacy. Okay? And these will help you when you get further down the line. Okay? So just take your time and take note of that now. When we say mudari is similar to, what is it similar to, ladies? One of the ladies tell me what is a mudari, because the word mudari means similar to. Why is a fi'lun that is in a present future tense called similar to? Sheikh.
It's a two-way, I would say. The one is similar to is from now to going to future.
No, that's totally incorrect.
The second thing I would say, this is similar to like ismun, because the ismun has changed. This is also the change.
Thank you. The second part of that is totally correct. Leave the first part off. Okay? What he said was this. We call it mudari', which means a word that is similar to something else, because it means that the mudari', the fi'lul mudari' is similar to the ismun. Okay? In what way is it similar to the ismun? It's similar to the ismun. Yes, it is. Hajar, it is similar to the ismun. It's similar to the ismun in that the ismun, the ends of the words change. What happens at the ends of the words? They change. They change from a fatha to a dhamma to a kasra. The ismun doesn't take a sukoon, right? No. The fi'lun, however, its end, fi'lul mudari, it changes. So a fi'lul mudari would be an action word, right? Present. So you say yaf'alu, wa yaf'al, wa yaf'ala. Say yaf'alu,
يفعل
yaf'ala,
يفعل
yaf'al.
يفعل.
Don't you see that the ends changed 3 times? Okay? And that's not the case with the Maldi or the Amr. Because the asl with the Maldi is that it's mabniyun. And the asl with the Amrun is that it's mabniyun. What does mabni mean?
Is it still the same?
It means the ends stay the same and they never change. We need to understand these different types of categories when we're dealing with a verb because or words. Words in Arabic are either constructed, we call it mabniyun, in a certain way, they don't change. They're always going to be like this. Min is always min. There's not going to be mina, minun, minin. It's min. Okay? An is an. Fi is fi. You understand? They're built in that format. However, Zayd is not always Zayd. It's Zaydun, Zaydan, or Zaydin. And Yajlisu is not always Yajlisu. It's Yajlisu, Yajlisa, or Yajlis. You understand that? So the fi'lul mudari. And it could also be tajlisina. If you're talking to a tajlisna, if you're talking to a bunch of women, the ends change in the mudari. Whereas in the madi, it's jalasa.
Can you give the second,
No ums.
okay. Can you give 3 examples in English how that action word changes? Just so that I can understand it.
What do you mean in English? No ums.
Okay.
This is not English.
I know it's not English, but how, okay, you said it changes, the ends of the word changes.
Okay, look. Yeah, go ahead, I'm listening.
How does it change then? That's what I'm asking.
Look, a word is like this. A fi'lun is yaf'alu. Okay?
Okay.
Yaf'alu. This is the end. The lam of the letter is here, right? The ends change from yaf'alu to yaf'ala to yaf'al.
Okay, what does,
And each one of these means something different.
could you tell me what it means then?
Yes, when it's yaf'alu,
Yes.
that means it's in its normal state of affairs. It's always supposed to be with the dhamma. I taught you guys from all the beginning that the word is supposed to be dhamma at the end unless there's a reason why it isn't. If it's yaf'ala, that means one of the adawat, one of the utensils that make it nasbi. It's like an yaf'al, to do that thing, has been placed in front of it. If it has the jazm, there's the sukoon on the end of it, then that means one of the signs or something has happened to make it stop. Okay? I mean, it's being affected by something else, and that's the whole purpose of studying grammar, to figure out what is affecting it and what does that mean. That's what the whole grammar, the whole lesson is. The point is to understand that you'll note that on here, but you won't note it on the fi'lul madi, and you won't note it on the amr, because the asl with the fi'lun, is that it is mabni, meaning its ends stay the same and they don't normally change.
So the only time that letter change, that particular word change is when you add those letters right there?
No, I'm trying to teach you a concept here. Okay, the concept is this. Verbs. No, there are 2 types of words in different categories. One of the types is called mabni, meaning that it's constructed in a certain form. The other side is mu'rab, meaning the ends change. Okay? And they change for particular reasons. Ismuns change all the time. However, fi'lun don't always change. So I'm saying, I want you to know that these fi'lun, the madi and the amrun, like an amr is built on a sukoon. If'al, if'ali, if'alu. All of those, even though they may sound different, they all have a sukoon on the end of it. Okay? All of them have a sukoon. So we can say about the amrun that it's mabni, it's constructed on a sukoon. The madi is going to be فعل, 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 or فعل, but like قال, جلس, سكت, رأى, نظر, درس, درس. All those things, they have a fatha at the end. And it doesn't change. So, for that reason, we say these are mabni on a fatha. Okay? However, the mudari always change. Always change for certain reasons. So we want you to learn off the bat that the mudari is different with regards to the normal action of a fi'lun. And so you need to know that it's called similar to. What is it similar to? It's similar to ismun, which we learned that it changes. That's the concept. Do you understand that? Is that understood, everybody? Now, why it changes is the whole subject of nahwu. So if I explain why it changes, we finished the whole Ajrumiyah. Because the whole Ajrumiyah, all it touches on is why it changes. Do you understand? So here, just understand. اضرب هذه امرأة بهذا العصا.
عفوا.
لا تضرب لا تضرب. جزاك الله خير. كنا حاذرا يعني لا يجي الناس يجلس على الجدار يعني يضربهم بشدة. Okay? So at any rate, what that means is that we have to pay attention, and this is a very pinnacle point in our lesson, to understand that this doesn't mean present tense. It means similar to. We want to take note of that. No, it's similar to ismun.
Okay.
That's all it is. And what way is it similar to ismun? In that its ends change. You understand what I'm saying? And so the ismun always changes, and other than that, these things don't change. The harf does not change. It's min, ila, wa an, wa fi, wa rubba, wal ba, wa ala. والكاف واللام واو وتاء ومذ ومنذ ولعل حتى. Always. Now you might add فيكم من الشيطان الرجيم, but that's for another rule that we can talk about. Do you understand what I'm saying? So here we got mabni wa mu'arab, and we have to understand the concept. Because mu'arab, the changes are the ones that we can tell. We can tell what the change is by the change that happens at the end of the words. Do you understand that? Can I go forward? No. Okay, after saying that, we just did that to explain what the fi'lun is. The fi'lun is a action word, right? A movement. It is a word that points to a meaning and is tied to 3 time frames. And what the point we're making here is that only this is a time frame. The rest of these things mean something else, but this is the immediate time frame, and this is the present tense going into the future. And why is this immediate? Because amr tadullu ila immediacy. An order denotes what? Immediate action. If I say sit down, son, what's he supposed to do? If he doesn't sit down, is he being obedient or disobedient? Right. Why? Because an order denotes immediacy. If he sits down later on and I say, hey, why did you sit down when I told you? Well, I was about to, but an order doesn't mean I have to do it right away, does it? It does. It does. So that's why an amr is enough for, say, the immediate tense. Does that make sense? We following along smoothly? Right. Now, after recognizing this much about a fi'lun, let's go back to the poem. So it says, وَالْفِعْلُ بِالسِّينِ, and it should be like this. This is a mistake, I think. It's like this, I believe. Somebody look in your book.
Yes, that's
it should be like this. That was a misprint on my part. Okay? وَالْفِعْلُ بِالسِّينِ سَوْفَ وَبِقَدْ. So the fi'lun is recognized. What does it mean when we say a fi'lun bis-sin? Bi is recognized. Right here goes what? Is recognized. Is recognized. We can tell. If I'm looking at a book of a bunch of writings, and I say, hey, which one of these is a fi'lun? Which one of these is an ismun? Which one of these is a harf? I can say, well, a fi'lun is recognized by seen. So any word that has seen in front of it, I know that word is an ismun. So if I see this, I know sayaqulu means that sa tells me what's the rest of this. This is an ismun. Don't whisper. What is this now? What's the proof? أنت تعبان متأكد اجري 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 تقول لي من هو خارج. So now this tells me that this is an ismun or fi'lun. This is an ismun? Is it ismun or fi'lun? It says, well, ismun bisin or fi'lun bisin? Al-fi'lu bisin. So we know that this is what? This is a fi'lun. Guys, are you awake? Or are you confused? Or did I say sin means fi'lun? Or did I say sin means ismun?
Yes, you did.
If I said sin means ismun, that is ghalat. That's badal al-ghalat. I made a mistake on my tongue. Okay? It says here, wal fi'lu bis-sin. The sin, the fi'lun is recognized by a sin in front of it. So when I have this sin right here, and I look at this word, what does it tell me this word is? Is a fi'lun. Why? Because it's preceded with a sin. Does that make sense? Even if I didn't know what the word meant, I know this has to be a what? Fi'lun. Why? Because it's preceded by a sin. It has a prefix of a sin. The prefix of a sin cannot go on a name. Let's say Zayd. Say Zayd. Says Zayd. Can I say that? No. You can't say said Zayd. It means nothing. Say Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It doesn't mean anything. Do you understand? This don't happen. You follow me? The sin only comes before a fi'lun. Sayaqulu. They will say. And sin means will. Sin means what? Will. Meaning what? Not Will Smith. Okay?
I will.
It means something will happen. Whatever the fi'lun is, it will. Does it mean without a doubt? No. It means whoever's going to plan to do that thing, they're intending to do it. You know, it says, I will do it. Like if you say, hey, Nuh, ijlis, sa'ajlis, qulli. Nuh, ijlis. See, he told me, I'm going to sit down. Because he didn't do it immediately. You know? Then he should sit down immediately. Nuh, ijlis. Sa'ajlis. Thumma ajlis. Okay? You see that? Now, Sawfa, everybody say this word. Sawfa means will also. But what type of will? Glad you're here. I need this stuff erased, please. Since you're late, you can get busy. Astaghfirullah al-azim. Just this stuff over here. Okay? Start with this stuff right here. And this Sazay thing, right? But not this stuff, okay? Now, Sawfa, everybody say Sawfa, is different from Sin. You know how it's different? More letters, right? More letters, what did we learn? What did we learn?
More letters, more meaning.
Come on, loud!
More letters, more meaning.
Loud!
More letters, more meaning.
Come on, guys. Yes, right here, this stuff right here. More letters, more meaning, okay? So we know sa means will, right? Say it.
Sa means will.
Right, wake up, man. Sa means will. Now, Sawfa also means will. But it means will in a longer period of time. Do you understand? Do you remember the rule of mudh wa mundu? No. Do you remember the rule?
Missing you for a short time, missing you for a...
Right. I haven't seen you guys mudh usbu' since a week. Or mundu asabiyyah. I haven't seen you in weeks, right? Because the mundu is more, right? So here we have sa, say sa, will near future, okay? Near future. Will in the near future. Sawfa, will in the far future. We call this the letters of, what do you call it? What is that word you call it? Procrastination. Tasweef is considered procrastination. Sofa. If you say sofa, that's like saying, I will, but no time soon. Okay? Sofa. You understand? Now I'm going to tell Ayub. I'm going to tell Ayub to sit down, and he's going to tell me, Sofa ajlis, and he's not going to sit. You don't be yelling in my class. Ayub, ijlis.
Sofa ajlis.
Arfa sautik.
Sofa ajlis.
Okay. So he told me he will sit down, but he didn't sit down, right? You see how that goes? So we see in the Quran, sayaqulu. Allah says, sayaqulu sufaha. Sayaqulu sufaha. The ignorant people, they're going to say it in this dunya. When you see this in the Quran, the sa means in this dunya. Sawfa ta'lamun. Ta'lamun. And this means in the hereafter. The sawfa here means in the hereafter. You see, one is closer than the other one. You guys understand that? But what we need, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So here we mean in the near future, and here we mean long time away. Okay? So if your wife asks you, will you buy me that thing? You say, Sawfa ashtarihi. Sawfa ashtarihi. Memorize this for me. Say, Sawfa ashtarihi. Sawfa ashtarihi. I will buy it. That's what you said. But when did you say you're going to buy it? Yani ba'dain. You know what I'm saying? After a while. Right? Sawfa ashtarihi. And he said, Hakeem's over here saying, sofa. So we got the difference. And you only see sofa in front of what? Can I say sofa Muhammad? Sofa Zaid? Sofa Ayub? Can't. Kumno.
All isms followed by...
All ismun, all fi'lun. The rules we are giving you here are locked in stone. But there's always exceptions. But the way we learn is we learn the rule. You learn the rule, you memorize the rule and everything, and after you got the rule strong in your head, you memorize the exceptions. Okay? You memorize the exceptions. When we get to sarf, it's going to be a lot of fun. Because you'll learn all the exceptions in the whole Arabic language. And that'll give you so much confidence, so much ability. Right now, you know every harful khafti in the whole Arabic language. Okay? Every harful khafti, you guys know it in the whole Arabic language. Just with that thing, min ila wa an wa fi wa rubba wa ba wa ala wal kaf wa lam wa muta wa mudh wa mudh wa la'alla hatta. Why? Because there are no more. There are no more harful khafti in the whole Arabic language. You can with confidence say, nah, you said that's a harful khafti? Negative. Never that. Never that. Without ikhtilaf. Kalla abadan. Okay? If she says, buy me this, and you want to say never that, you say kalla abadan. You know what I mean? Never that. Okay? But you'll not say that. We're good men. We're going to say taba'an. Sawfa ashtari. Sawfa ashtari. Sawfa ashtari. You know? And then if you really want to put some time on it, what do you say? Insha'Allah. So, did everybody got that? I'm at the lesson. No, the ladies say I'm going to have very angry women on the website. And anyway, Sawfa ta'lamun comes before a verb, right? So, whenever I see sa on a paper, whenever I see sawfa, I know they were tied to a fi'lun. Now, qad, right? Qad. What do we say? Qad qama says. Qad corresponds to what? Qad corresponds directly to the word already in the English language. Qad. Already. It's done. قد يعلم الله قد علم قد قامت الصلاة قد أفلح المؤمنون. All right? This already happened. It's also for taqreeb, meaning something's close. قَدْ جَاءَ فُلَان. If you come and you say, okay, what I mean, this word qad means already. We call this in the Arabic language tahqiq, meaning it's already become the reality. Okay? It's already haqqa. It's already the truth. However, we can use it also for taqreeb, for someone coming close. Let's say someone's outside the door and they're getting out their car and we were waiting for them. We can say, qad ja'a, he's come. Has he entered? No. So literally he hasn't entered, but qad here means he's here. He's already here. So we call this taqreeb, meaning it's close to almost happening. It's what we use every day when we say qad qamatis salah. Qad qamatis salah. Have we established the salah? No, we're about to though. It's for taqreeb. You understand how we use that? Reason why I say that is because you use it every day. You need to understand what functions you're using these words in. You understand? And you're only saying it before a what? Fi'lun. Okay? You guys understand that? Now, the next one is that qad could also mean maybe. I said it means already, right? I said it means taqreeb. It's almost about to happen. It also could mean maybe. When we use it, it could be maybe. If you put it before fi'lul mudari. If you put it before a what? Fi'lul mudari. Qad yaf'al. It could happen, right? It could happen. It could mean, yeah, it's going to happen. It could be, yeah, it may not happen. Depending. Let's say a person never comes, but he's always supposed to be there. So you could say, qad yati. Qad yati. You got it? He could come. Or if you know he's not coming, you say, qad yati. You know, like for nadir, it's rare. Qad yati ala waqt. He could come one time. You know? Qad yati mutaakhiran. He could come late if he never comes late like me. You know? Say qad yati mutaakhiran. Qad. Meaning maybe. You understand how that goes? You guys understand how we're using that? No. Memorize it, learn it, and use it. Get off my wall. Hit yourself with the stick. Okay. Shukran jazeelan. Jazakallah khair. His job is to hit the people that's on the wall. He's leaning on the wall. Okay. Alhamdulillah. اضرب نوح. هذا إذا كنت تعبان. لا تسمعون يضرب نوح. أنت بخير? All right. So, that's what qad. That's some of the meanings of qad. Okay? Already, maybe, taqreeb. We got that? Now, we'll do a little bit further. You only see it before fi'lun, right? That's what I said. Right? That's the work of it. Mudari, even if it's past tense, madi, this is what you say, qad. You guys got that? Then the other one is fa'lam, so then know this, wa ta'nith. So a fi'lun is also known by the ta of ta'nith. What does ta'nith mean? Ta is the one with the sukoon over it. It's the ta that denotes that the person who did this action is a woman or feminine. Because ta'nith is from the word untha. Look, hamza, noon, and tha. Untha. You see that? Untha. Do you see that right there? So the ta of the untha, the ta at ta'nith, the ta that makes the rest of the word feminine. So if we say jalasa, say jalasa, jalasa, we know automatically this is masculine. If we say jalasat, jalasat, we automatically know this ta right here is the ta of ta'nith, the sakina. It's called the ta at ta'nith, a sakina, because it's feminine. The ta that makes the rest of the word feminine, and it's always sakin. Okay? And it means that whoever did this action was either a female or feminine in nature. Feminine in nature. What do I mean by that? Because every part of your body is either masculine or feminine. How do you know the difference? If you have doubles, if it's double, it's feminine. If it's singular, it's masculine. That's the rule. So what are my hands? Feminine. What are my feet? Feminine. What are my eyes and my ears? Feminine. What is my hair? Masculine. What is my head? Masculine. You understand the point? So we learn this rule. Okay? So, the ta'a ta'nith. This ta'a ta'nith comes as a suffix. What does a suffix mean? No. Suffix comes at the end of a word. Right? Suffix comes at the end of a word. A prefix comes where? Before a word. So the sa and the salfa and the qad are prefixes. With a ta' ta'nith, a sakina is a what? Suffix. Put it in your books. Put it in your head. Memorize it. Use it. What they say? Memorize it. Just learn it. Memorize it. Spread it or something. I forgot it was something. Pass it on, right? But so this is a suffix right here. So give me a word. Dakhala. Say dakhala. Dakhala. Make it feminine. Dakhalat. You understand how that goes? Automatically. And the reason why you say sakina, because it's going to come a ta at the end. We call bitafa'alta. The ta of whoever did it. Because you can say dakhalta, dakhalti, dakhaltu. So that's not the ta ta'nitha, sakina. That's the ta of fa'alta, whoever did the action. And these are ismun. Okay? But that's different. So there's an ismu at the end telling you who did the action. Because in Arabic, you always have the action. And then right after action, you have what? The actor. The one who did the action. Which is different from the English language. The English language places the actor and then the action. In Arabic, we say, Ja'a Zaydun. Say, Ja'a Zaydun. In English, we say, Zayd came. It's the opposite.
If a spoon made the pot fell, or the cover fell, how would you say that? Feminine or masculine?
Well, then you would have to say what spoon. Spoon is mil'aqa. Mil'aqa has tarmabuta at the end. Tarmabuta is feminine. Okay? So that's how you have to learn these as you go along. It's not as difficult, just like you learned in English. Okay? Most people call cars feminine, right? Oh, Betsy. Where do they get that from? It's from the nature that things are either masculine or feminine. Right? Likewise, Islam clarifies everything, so we don't have to guess what it is.
If it's more than one spoon, it would be...
Milaqat, you know, it's still feminine. Still feminine. Don't you see? ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. فِيهِ. So it's masculine. The book is masculine. Okay? Then hiya kutubun. Hiya kutubun. She are books. Does it mean she? No, it means they are books. Feminine. That's why we say قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. The huwa here doesn't mean he. It means it, the singular. Okay? So there it is right there. And we don't say hiya. Hiya Allah meaning plural. Do you understand my point? So there's these things come in the language to clarify masculinity and feminine. Like we say, yada, I said the hands are what? Feminine. Recite, tabbat yada. Tabbat. It didn't say tabba. It says tabbat. What's that ta for? The ta, a ta'nith, a sakina. To point to that thing that's being referred to, a what? Feminine. And what's the thing? It comes after the act, the thing that's been acted. Tabbat yada, the hand of the actions, right? They're being the ones being destroyed. They're the maf'ul min. Tabbat yada abi lahabin wa tab. He's destroyed. He says tab for whom, but not tabbat, because he's talking about abi lahab. But when he talks about his hands, we said what? Tabbat. Do you understand my point? Everything is clear in the language. So it says here, Meizuhu warad. This distinguishment to distinguish this fi'lun is well written and well, it's written. You can distinguish it, right? It says Meizuhu warad. Its distinguishment is written. Okay? Wa alaikum salam. Do you understand my point? I'm seeing moths. Wipe them away. Come on. Wusa. Let's go. Do you guys understand this or what? I don't want to go on if you don't understand it. Do you understand it, Sheikh?
You can explain again that.
This last part? Okay. Meizuhu. Mayyaza. Mayyaza
Mayyaza.
means to distinguish something. Distinguish means to clarify, to break into parts.
What are the letters?
Mayzuhu, mim, ya, zay, ha. Okay? And this is ha al-kinaya. It goes back to the last thing mentioned. So it means mayzu, the ta-ta-nitha. Mayzu, tasin, and the salfa, and the qad. The things that you can recognize a fi'l with is clarified. Warada. Warada means that it's written. You'll find it. So as you read, you'll be able, if you use this, you'll be able to distinguish and clarify what is a fi'lun from what is not a fi'lun. And really, it's just for tatimmatul bayt. It's just to complete the bait, but he added benefit to it by, hey, you going to play with the baby, you're going to pay attention. Okay, so he wrote it here to complete the bait, the line of poetry. A poetry line is called the bait. And it also is to complete your understanding that these things are written and you'll be able to distinguish a fi'lun by noticing these things. Okay, when you read. Do you understand that now? Do you guys understand this? What do you understand?
The last part is stating that, if, for example, if you see the scene before the word, you know it's a
Fi'lun, right. Okay, what if you see a qad? Well, what if you see ta'nith, a sakina at the end of it? You know that word is feminine, and also you know what? That it's a fi'lun. Because you can't put a ta'nith, a sakina on an ismun. Do you guys understand that point now? That's what we have to offer for today. Let's listen and memorize. What we're learning today, we're learning a few things. We're learning about a fi'lun. First thing we learned about a fi'lun, just to wrap it up, is that the fi'lun is 3 types. You have what? Al-madi, mudar, actually, I'm sorry, let me go back. A fi'lun is what? كلمة دلت على معنى في نفسها وقد اقترنت بإحدى ثلاثة الزمنة. Right? It's a word that points, recite with me. Points to a meaning in and of itself, and it's connected to what? One of three time frames. What are those 3 time frames? Because that tells you the 3 types of fi'lun. The 3 types of fi'lun tell you the 3 types, the time frames. So it has madi, which means what? Then it says mudari, which means what? It means like, but as a terminology, what does it mean? Present, future. And then it says what? An amr. And what does that mean? It's an order, but as a terminology, it means what time frame? It means it. Why? Because an order denotes what? And we know mudari means it's like what? It's like an ismun. In what way is a fi'lun mudari like an ismun? Is that the ends are mu'rab, the ends change. So that we learned the second thing, that a fi'lun or a word is either mabniyun. What does mabniyun mean? Its ends do not change. It stays at the same. Wal akhiru is same. Mabniyun ala fatha abadan. Okay? The fi'lun, its ends stay with a fatha all the time. There are exceptions, but it's mabni. It's constructed in a certain form. Whereas the action word that is an amr, the fi'lul amr, is also mabni on a sukoon. Ijlis, uskut, kum. All this is a sukoon. Right? Even if you say kumu, ijlisi, it's still mabni on a what? Sukoon. So then the fi'lul mudari is like an ismun, because an ismun goes zaydun, zaydan, or zaydin. And it's always changing based on its situation. Likewise, the fi'lul mudari is like the ism because its ends change based on its what? Situation. What is the changes and how that occurs is the whole subject matter of what? Not sarf, ya akhi. Nahwu. Okay? It's the whole subject matter of nahwu. Now we learn, how do we recognize a fi'lun? We recognize a fi'lun bis-sin, which means what? Seen as a prefix means will. Salfa, which means what? I will, but in a longer period of time. Right? Then we know, it says fa'lam, then know that, then ta'ano, then qad. What does qad mean? Qad corresponds with what? Already in it, but sometimes it can mean maybe, and sometimes it can be for taqrib, when we say qad qamatis salah. Okay? Then also, we said that ta at-ta'nith, it's sakina, is the ta, that means that the action, the actor of the action is what? Feminine, right? And it has to have the sakin on that, or it could be with the ta of fa'alta. So pay attention to what? Details. And know if it's ta ta'nith sakina, or if it's ta fa'alta, or fa'altu, or fa'alti. You understand? Because when you speak, you say fa'alt. So you know it's not that because it has the sakun over it as opposed to fa'alat. You understand? That's our lesson for today. وَمَيْزُهُ warad means that these distinguishing parts are well written. When you read, you'll see them. Okay? أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. السلام عليكم.